So we're gonna go over today is not the easiest, but the one of the meat and potatoes that you have to know, and that's a double leg takedown. Okay, so what we're going over is the ability to fight. If you can't fight with your hands, but you know how to fight on the ground, you still can't fight. If you're a black belt on the ground and you don't know how to do a takedown, you still can't fight. Whatever it is, you have to have all ranges covered. Stand up, punching, kicking, on the ground, submission, even if the submission isn't up to par, even if you only have 5 money moves that work for you, that's okay, but you have to be proficient on the ground. Now, going from stand up to on the ground, there's a big gap in there, and most people, a lot of people in mixed martial arts, or even say sport, jiu-jitsu, or combat grappling, do not have the ability to take somebody down. They've been taught all these years just to fight off your back, which in and of itself isn't the worst thing to do, but that's one huge tool that you definitely need to do, that you need to know, is to be able to put somebody on their back. Okay, so we're gonna go over today is not the easiest, but the one of the meat and potatoes that you have to know, and that's a double leg takedown. I guess it might be kind of the easiest, yeah. There's a lot of tools to it that go with it, but we're gonna break that down with Youngblood over here today, because he's getting better definitely with his hands, and he's getting better on the ground, but he doesn't know any takedowns, right? You don't know. Yeah, nobody's ever gone over takedowns with him, so we're gonna break that down right now. So I got Big Chris here. He's gonna help us out, because if you can do it proficiently to a big guy, then you can do it easier to a small guy. Now here's one. If you have a good big guy and a good small guy, who's gonna win in that fight? If they're pretty much even, the big guy, okay? It's hard to deal with a big guy who knows how to fight, but in and of itself, combat sports is not a big man sport, because these guys, the condition it takes, you have to be able to push to get that much oxygen to that much muscle is a little bit difficult. We're gonna break off and have 10 different videos off of this one. But today's video is gonna be a double leg takedown. We're gonna show Youngblood over here. Now, if you are, we just posted another video about this, what's the perfect size for a fighter? Whatever size you are is the perfect size. You're gonna make that work. Now, one thing you have to come to grips with, if you're wrestling or fighting a taller guy, like his arms are really long. So when he takes that shot, which we're gonna go over with, he can grab your legs, get behind those knees before almost you can even stuff off of his head. And another video we made, the 3 lines of defense in wrestling is different than it is boxing, but I've made a video, we'll make another one about that. But defense off of wrestling, the first line of defense is your hands. So if they shoot in, you can stuff the head, the shoulders, and move them from there. The second one is, your head, is your hands. So your hands is the first line of defense in wrestling. It has to go in this order. Okay, the first one is hands. The next one is your head. So say they get past your hands, you can use your head, your neck, to adjust, to make an angle to work off of that. So that's the second line of defense. And the third are your hips. So say they get in all the way, now I'm gonna wanna sprawl. Now in wrestling or grappling, whoever's hips are lower, if it's offense or defense, is 90% of the time, 95% of the time going to win. Now, as it gets to be a much higher level, you can do some things and reverse it. But in and of itself, if you're trying to take somebody down, your hips have to be lower you don't even have to pick them up off the ground, but to cut the corner or take a leg, whatever you're gonna do. And if your defense, I need to dig and get my hips low so you can't pick me up or get underneath me. So that's how that goes. But on this video today is gonna be a double leg takedown, and we'll break it down, and I'll show you another drill afterwards. If you don't have a training partner to drill this with, you can do essentially kind of the same drill off of a wall. So we'll break this down, and here we go. Okay, so double leg takedown, here's how we're gonna go. We're gonna start from a wrestling stance, which is different than a boxing or MMA stance. Now, here, it's gonna be same thing, and like in boxing though, your predominant hand's gonna be in the back, your predominant leg's gonna be in the back. What I wanna do is my lead leg, my lead knee, I need to get right directly in the center of his. If I take this shot and my front knee is way out here, then I start leaning. Once you lean at the hips, it's all bad, whether it's boxing or wrestling. If you need the level change, it has to be at the knees and not at the waist. So if I take a cruddy shot and I drop this knee here, all I'm gonna do is lean. And then for him to defend it or reverse it or put me in a choke, it just gets all bad for me. So once again, your front knee has to go deep. It's penetration. You gotta penetrate your opponent. And when you hit them, it's like a train. Your face and your chest are all at the same time. My hands are always out in front of me, whether I'm offense or defense. Once my hands come in there, because that's our first line of defense is your hands. If my hands are here and he already gets in, then there's chances are he's gonna win. So here we are, we're in a wrestling stance. I level change and then shoot in. So once again, I level change and my front knee's in the center of his. Boom, boom. Now if you notice, you'll see a lot of wrestlers walking around, or high school guys walking around school here. When you hit that shot, and when you take that double leg, my hands are always at his knees, not at his thighs, because his legs are much stronger than my arms will ever be. So if I come around his thighs and he sprawls, he's really strong there, and I'm in a bad way. But once I get his knees, now I can control him. So once you hit in on those knees, my palms are up, and then they're down. So you'll see a lot of high school kids walking around high school, they're going like this, like this. That's a drill. Like football coaches, I was told, give guys football and walk around with it so they get used to holding it all the time. Wrestlers, it's here, because that's the momentum, that's the shot you want right there. That's what you're gonna do with your arms. So as I get in, my front knees inside of his, I level change, boom, and my hands are gonna hit the knees, boom. Now, whatever hip is closest is the side I'm gonna put my face on. Here, there, boom, okay? So one more time, we're here, and whoever's hips are lower is usually gonna win. So here, I level change, and he's longer than me, he's taller than I am, so when I'm my wrestling stance, I'm not gonna be close to him, so he can't touch me. So I'm gonna have to take a step before I penetrate. So from here, I take that step, and same thing, I'm not leaning, it's all flush, it's all flat. Take that step, drop that front knee, and my hands are at his knees, my head is on that inside hip. Boom. Now from here, when I hit his knees, boom, I brought him in. So his knees were wide and now they're close. Once I come in, I'm gonna cup with my hands. I'm gonna cup from where they land at the knees here. Now my head's out there. Now I'm gonna switch the angle. From here, I'm gonna do a 90 degree. From here. One more time. So we're in a wrestling stance. My hands are out in front. I'm not leaning. Boom. Level change. Boom. Penetrate. Boom. Once I come in, my outside leg cuts the corner. I'm going to push with my head the direction I'm going as I take his legs out from under him. And then you go side mount or whatever from there. So please, you mind doing this, Chris? Okay, so I'm gonna let the two big guys take over and run the drill so you can see what it looks like. This is a perfect example because you still have a tall but a very muscular guy and you got a long, lengthy guy. Their shots are still gonna be the same, it's just gonna look different because he's got so much strength. As once he gets a hold of you, especially those knees, you're going. Sometimes he might cut the angle, sometimes he might take them straight back. Whatever he wants to do, he'll be able to do. Okay, check this out. A lot of big guys, obviously muscular, through years of lifting weights, when they do lunges or what have you, they'll come here, like for example with the lunge, which for wrestling is opposite. You want your front knee to go down, boom, and then finish your shot. If I take that shot and my back knee goes down first instead, then it's very easy for the other guy to push me over or defend the shot. When you took that shot, that knee came down first. If you could, put this knee, yeah. And it's like from years that I found through all the working with big guys, years of these guys doing lunges and spending so much time in the weight room that that's already stuck in their mind. So when they shoot, they'll do that a lot of times. But it's always, always, always your front knee goes down first. Yes, sir. And then once you get a big guy who knows what's going on in on you, you're done. You just have to accept what's going to happen and go from there. Please, two more times. Good. Now, all right. You'll notice once he finishes that takedown, he's in a very dominant perfect position. Like he's already cross-eyed, but then he's got to scoot up and he can do whatever he wants. So just make sure, and his timing is really good. The big guy, same thing with boxing. He doesn't jab the fastest, but he puts it in there at a perfect time all the time. So his shot, same thing. You don't have to be the fastest at it. It helps, but you don't have to be. Just set that timing up. You can like reach high for the head once to get him to react to stand tall and then take that shot. Or in MMA, if they throw a jab, you can go underneath that jab and hit the shot, or you can throw a jab and set it up and take it underneath there. So there's a bunch of variations you can do to get underneath that. Now stay. If you can, Justin, get this knee right here. There you go. Push with your head and go left. There you go, good job. Justin, if you can, not even can, when you take that shot, your hands are coming like this. Keep them here, please. Fair enough? Justin, when you're shooting, that was better because they weren't out here, they were here, but they're here. Put them out here. Like, make sure your hands get to them first. Like, right, that's really good. That much better. What happens a lot of times too with newer guys when they take that shot, when they go to take their shot, their arms are here. That comes out wide. And then from there, it's very easy for the guy you're trying to take down to defend it, whether it's stuff in the head or in MMA, you can take shoulder locks, front chokes, there's a lot of stuff. So when you take that shot, same thing when you're in boxing, my hands are out in front of me. When I'm wrestling, my hands are out in front of me here. So when you take that shot, get in, boom, and hit it. So your arms are long and your arms are narrow. So when you take that shot. So if they try to shoot on you, you can still redirect them and push the head or whatever you want to do from there. So make sure when you take that shot, your hands are close in front of you there. Perfect. Now, Justin, when you go, you're like looking away, and your head is hitting here, Justin. Like, yeah, going. Here's what you're kind of going like this. Boom. Now from there, if you push my head to the mat, I'm just like all bad from there. So when you hit it, like look, like run into it. Boom. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Better, there you go. Better, good. Much better. Now Justin, when you go, please, when you go, you got in now, it's much better. When you get in, push this foot, go here, and then drive it down. There you go, much better. And ideally, in a perfect world, this is his first time ever doing takedowns, or specifically a double leg takedown. So this is about the speed and about the length of time it's going to take to understand what's going on. So don't be in a rush with it. Okay, please, two more, please. There you go, Justin. You get it. You're doing great. If you want to go more, please keep going more. Go more. So now, if you don't have a training partner to work these double leg drills with, I'm going to show you a different drill you can do at home if you want. So, cameraman, come here, please. So it doesn't have to be matted or padded to do this drill. You can do it off of just your regular home wall. Now, depending if you're doing it on hardwood floors or carpet, I don't know, but you might want to put a knee pad on, or it'll toughen your knees up regardless. So same setup, my same wrestling stance here. So what I'm gonna do, because when you hit somebody on that shot, you want it to be all flush. I don't want to lean, I don't want to bend at the hips. So from here, my wrestling stance, I level change. I'm gonna take a step with my front foot. So my hands are out front, step, or level change, step, drop. So I'm flat right here. My hands are chest level. Once you get in, after you get in, just push yourself back up. Boom. So here again, boom. Level change, step, penetrate, and you're in. Wrestling stance, level change, step, penetrate, back up. So if you don't have a training partner, that's a really good drill. Even if you do have a training partner, when you go home or in your garage or whatever, you can do it. Like drill 100 of those, because your takedowns will gain really quick. Now, if you have other drills that you do different or better, or something else you like, please put it in the comments below. If you have questions about any of this, please put it in the comments below. So now we're gonna go over in the next video, off of that shot, some submissions you can do. Shoulder locks, front chokes, you can stuff the head and take the back. There's all sorts of things you can do. But just get that takedown. All you need is that one for right now. Just get that double leg takedown. So whether you're doing sport jiu-jitsu, combat grappling, MMA, you're going to need to know how to put somebody on their back or on the side, whatever. You have to know how to take them down. But if you have questions, if you have comments, please let me know. But for right now, if you didn't know,
now you know.
Good man. I know you got this. So which video do you want to watch? You want to watch that video? You want to watch that video? You know, that one's really good. But on the other hand, that one helps the video you just saw.